Welcome to episode 7 of the Cinema Dash. I'm Gabs.
And I'm Deej.
And we're going to do a movie review this time instead of
movie review.
Yep, instead of in the industry, we're going to do a movie review on a movie we saw this weekend with friends of ours.
Yeah.
We saw
Straight out of Compton.
the NWA
Biopic.
Biopic. It's actually Biopake.
Biopake?
Biopake.
Right.
They didn't put the accent.
Thank you. I didn't know. All right.
You're welcome.
So,
And you're welcome for all you out there.
No, NWA.
So maybe you should start a little bit of like a little background on.
Oh, background. Yeah. I'm not really into rap music. I'm very, very selective about it, but I do really like. I've always been a huge fan of NWA for a couple years now. And when I first heard that they were making an NWA biopic, I was a little scared because like it'd be weird because like wow, who's gonna play Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and all these other members of the group that a lot of people know and love and a lot of people hate. So I was a little skeptical about it, and then I heard the casting choices were relatively unknowns, so that got me a little bit more worried.
Except for one, really.
What? Paul Giamatti and O'Shea Jackson.
I was gonna say Junior, O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah, O'Shea Jackson. He was
It's his son.
Yeah, and he looks exactly like him, I thought that was a pretty cool choice. So yeah, I was a little skeptical about it. And nearing the movie's release, my opinions lightened up a bit, I guess. And here we are. And it's out and about in theaters, and we saw it.
Yeah,
What about you?
My whole thing with rap music, I'm not a big fan. I don't like rap music. Like the closest thing I'll go to rap music is, the closest I've been to rap music in the last 5 years was probably Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
All right.
And you can argue that they're not good or they're really good, but honestly, I like them. They're not terrible. Like if they're on the radio, I'll listen to them. But that's as close as I'll go to rap. I have heard of NWA. I know of Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, but other than those two, I didn't really know the others who were in the group. So going into it, I knew there was a lot of that they were very influential in their time period, early '90s, late '80s, something like that. So I was interested in it. Like if I didn't see it in theaters, I would definitely see it like on Netflix if it were to go on Netflix or online somehow. But yeah, that's really my whole thing with rap music.
Okay. So, I mean, there's really no need to go into like a story segment because it's pretty much just
Their history.
It's just pretty much just a biopic, narrative.
You can
biopic.
read a Wikipedia
Yeah,
article.
pretty much you can read a Wikipedia article
and get the same effect out of it as we did.
pretty much. But
I mean, not really, but
well, not the same effect. Like obviously, it's a movie. You're gonna have two different effects.
Yeah.
You're reading it and then.
No, I mean like you'll get the same story out of it, but like you'll get more.
Yeah, but but if you read the Wikipedia article, you'll get the full scope of it. Like
yeah,
and the movie left out a lot of things.
But I think that's only because like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube produced it.
So that definitely had an impact on it.
I would think that they missed out on a lot of stuff that they did that they don't want us to know about.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure that they got more than just like that letter from the FBI.
I mean, I'm sure other stuff happened. I'm not like an NWA aficionado or anything.
Yeah.
I just like their music and stuff like that. I never really got into the history of it. But I'm sure a lot more things have happened. Like I know the one big thing everybody's talking about is that Dr. Dre like abused those women and they completely left it out of the biopic. And then like the director came out and said like it wouldn't fit the tone of the narrative or something like that. Which is
They made him.
It's an excuse.
It's definitely an excuse because it's a movie that really tells the audience that NWA is a bunch of heroes, which in actuality they're more like not. I would say anti-heroes, honestly, just because like they fought for their right to say whatever they want. But do they do a lot of bad stuff? Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Like in the first scene, it shows Eazy-E being a gangbanger. Like
he sold
he's selling drugs or coke to the people.
Some random folk.
Yeah. It just for the sake of sound, like not, you know, stereotypes and everything, let's just avoid talking about like our opinions on the people.
Yeah.
I guess because we don't want to stir up any controversy.
We can put our opinions on the actors who play those people.
I agree.
So why don't we do that?
So let's start off talking about the movie.
My opinion.
On
the actors. The actors that they chose to play the members and the cameos and everyone around them they were very good.
I agree. I thought the acting in the movie was very, very solid. One of the better parts of the movie.
And the fact that it's like a bunch of no names only makes it better.
Yeah, exactly. Because
there's still...
it's always that refreshing to see new talent play like essentially very big roles and kill it. Like it's awesome to see that.
And the best I think you and I both agreed on was Ice Cube's son.
Oh, Ice Cube's son was the best in that movie.
I would say
he was phenomenal.
Yeah, I would say
he captured his dad so well, which makes sense.
I would say him and the guy who played Dr. Dre.
Yeah, I think his name was Corey Hawkins, the guy who played Dr. Dre. But
not only did he look like him.
Yeah, which was cool because they all looked like.
I love that about the movie.
Yeah.
In the guy they got, some guys they got for the cameos too. Not only did they sound like him.
Let's not reveal the cameos for the sake of people who haven't seen it yet.
But the two notable ones.
They looked spot on. Exactly.
Not only did they look exactly like him, but when they rapped, like it was like listening to the people they were playing.
Yeah, it was insanity. Like it was so good. I'm not sure if they. I don't think they did. I don't think they did a dub of the raps though. I thought they just put in the original soundtrack and had the actors lip sync.
Yeah, and that's like one of those things where I thought the movie could have been better because I would have rather heard their own rendition of the rap of the NWA songs and whatever the cameos music they made, instead of just having like Straight Outta Compton just play instead of like them singing and they're just lip singing. I'd rather them sing it themselves or rap it rather.
You never know, because like maybe one of them or like a majority of them couldn't rap. Like I know O'Shea is a rapper. Like he goes by OMG, and he's released some stuff. I think he released a couple mixtapes. You never know. Maybe Corey Hawkins or the dude that played Eazy-E or the guy that played MC Ren or whatever couldn't rap. So I did. If they did perform, then they're really good. But if they just put the tracks over it, it didn't really matter to me either way because the movie was more about the development of the group rather than like did they dub the movie or not. So it wasn't really a big deciding factor on what I'm going to give the movie.
But
so
still, I think I would rather liked it a lot more if they tried.
I mean, it definitely would have been interesting.
If they tried and succeeded, I would have liked it a lot more. If they tried and failed, then I wouldn't have liked it.
I think the director. Yeah, that's why. I think that's one of the reasons. Like the director didn't want to like tarnish the name of like NWA or like make it sound cheesy or whatever.
It could also just be a producing thing as well.
Mm-hmm. I guess, but either way,
they're really good.
Acting was phenomenal.
Paul Giamatti was very good as
Paul
well.
Giamatti was great. He played he was their manager, and he started off as like a really young.
They're very Jewish manager.
A very Jewish manager. And we're not being like anti-Semitic or anything. They make a big point of that in the movie, in which Paul Giamatti is Jewish.
There's a part in the movie where O'Shea Jr. makes a rap.
The diss rap, dude. No Vaseline, dude.
That.
Great.
That was the best part of the movie.
That was my favorite part of the movie. When No Vaseline came on, me and one of our friends were flipping out when that came on. That was awesome. But anyway, Paul Giamatti was very good. He started off as like this small-time record producer who claims he works with Elton John and the Rolling Stones and Mick Jagger or whatever. And I don't think there's much truth to that statement, considering he's pressing records in the back of a warehouse.
Yeah, considering where the meeting with
where the meeting is really shady.
Yeah.
He starts off as this small-time, record producer, and he offers to help out Eazy-E, and that's pretty much where the story begins. Because really, the first act of the movie is just setting up all the characters, introducing how they met each other and stuff like that.
And the first part is definitely the best part of the movie.
I really did enjoy the first part of the movie. Definitely my favorite part of the movie.
Now, would you say, taking the whole movie, how much of it did you enjoy of it? Like which acts?
I would say from the first act, halfway through the second act, and then the entire third act, I enjoyed it. The last half of the second act, it really kind of dragged on for me. It was a little slow. But anyway, going back to
Fucking Mike. How about that? You want
you asked me. All right, whatever.
Yeah,
say your opinion, then.
I mean, there were two people. Fucking, get some respect.
It's the Cinema Dash featuring Deej now. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Okay, continue.
Fuck
Continue.
The point is, I like the beginning, like the first act. The second act, a majority. I told you this. Like, the point. There's a certain points where I told you personally. I'm not gonna say exactly which parts here,
right?
Because I feel like they'll spoil. But I'm gonna say a majority. I'm gonna say the first act and part of the last act were the only ones I really enjoyed. And there's a huge chunk of the middle where it just dragged on for me.
Right.
Needless to say, did I enjoy some parts of that middle? Yeah, but not as much as like the first act or the second one. Or the last.
Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. The second half definitely did have a very drawn out, slower pace than the rest of the movie. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty solid act. But anyway, Paul Giamatti was great.
Yeah.
Who else? The guy who played Suge Knight was convincing. Suge Knight is pretty much known to be an asshole, so I think he really captured that.
That big guy with the beard.
The big dude with the beard. He recently just got tried for murder or manslaughter or something.
In real life?
Yeah, or in real life. He hit some dude with a car.
Wow.
But yeah, he was always known to be a shady douche who ran
No,
Death Row Records.
I mean like, not like the guy he played, but the actor.
Oh no, Suge Knight, like
Okay.
the real dude, Suge Knight, not the actor who played Suge Knight. But anyway, whatchamacallit?
Didn't really know.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing Suge or Shug. Or,
I think it's
Shug, right?
Yeah,
it was
Shug.
Shug. Okay, so Suge Knight. Yeah, he was always perceived to be this douche. So I think they got the actor they got for him was a really good fit. I thought he was very convincing. He was definitely the main antagonist. He was definitely in the second to third half of the movie. The second half of the movie, he was definitely a main antagonist.
The acting in this movie certainly was not. It's the weak point. It was one.
Yeah, the acting was one of the
better. I think it is the best thing in this movie. The acting.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that. I also say the direction was very good. The way scenes flowed together, I really enjoyed the way the director F. Gary Gray put I think that's what his name is, F. Gary Gray or something. The way he flowed scenes together, I really liked the transitions he used. The camera movements were great. I really liked the way they shot concerts and stuff like that.
The way they shot concerts, almost like music video-esque.
Yeah, very, very music video-esque. I agree. A lot of crane shots, a lot of panning shots, a lot of tracking shots.
And I like those.
And it was good. It was really good.
The shots around the concert were some of the best.
They were. I definitely agree with that. Some of the conversation scenes were actually pretty well shot too. I really enjoyed the way Ice Cube and Eazy-E were reunited in that one scene. That was really nice. That was really cool. Nice, touching scene. A
lot of the end scenes really were some of the better ones.
Some of the better ones, definitely. But the direction overall was very, very good. Most of the reviews I read praising the direction, and then I went to go see it, and I completely agree with what they were saying.
Unlike most films.
What?
Unlike some films we review. Reviews of.
Let's not delve back into
that
territory.
We'll not do those.
Let's not go back into that territory. So yeah, I really did enjoy the direction. Stop. Yeah, so I had a really good time. It was a very energetic movie too, which is what I liked about it. It was constantly moving.
I think this is a movie made for those who really enjoy rap music.
Definitely.
Because definitely. I feel like I said that myself when I came out of the movie. I'm just like, I think I would enjoy this if I knew more about their music, if I enjoyed their music more, and the rap and more of the rap
Yeah,
music.
you would definitely get a different perspective of the movie if you
Mhm.
enjoyed rap music a lot more, and you would come out with two different perspectives. Like
I'm
a person who doesn't really enjoy rap that much wouldn't really or not like get the movie, but like wouldn't really appreciate the movie the same as somebody who does like rap music and NWA and all that classic gangster rap.
Yeah, like I'm more of a alternative rock and electronic kind of guy.
That's me too. It's exactly me, but I also delve into a little bit of hip hop.
Yeah, but
time
me,
to time.
it's like me being like basically that.
Yeah.
And some parts and some things between and not rap.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I said to myself like I would have enjoyed this movie more if I listened to the music.
Right.
But no, I still found myself enjoying some of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely not catered for everybody, but if everybody were to go see it, they'd at least find one thing they would like about the movie.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, if you didn't like rap, you could appreciate the acting and you could appreciate the story that's being told.
If you didn't like the rap, or if you didn't like literally anything, at least you can say you like the music.
Definitely.
Because when they're like, this is like the whole movie's like, oh, they're in the process of making all this music and stuff.
And some of the best scenes were when they did record
well, like when they were hinting at, oh,
music.
we're probably gonna make this song next. Oh, what we're gonna like when they're doing they're probably considering their biggest hit.
Straight Outta Compton?
Yeah, when they're fuck the police coming straight from the underground. I don't know if that's exactly what the song is.
That's a really long title for it's fuck the police.
It's fuck the police.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have no clue what the fuck we're talking about here.
Fair enough.
But the point is, when we saw that, when we knew that was coming up, we all got excited just because we knew what the song was, and we knew exactly how it was going to go down.
Exactly.
And what happened, it delivered.
Mm-hmm. Definitely when they started making their first album, Straight Outta Compton, all the songs leading up to it were some of the best parts in the movie. Like my second favorite scene in the movie had to be when they were in the club in like the first 20 minutes of the movie, and Ice Cube gets up on stage and Dr. Dre gets up on stage and he becomes the DJ, and then Ice Cube just starts rapping Gangsta Gangsta. That was awesome. That was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie because it's my second favorite NWA song. And when he started playing it, I was like, wait, this is Gangsta Gangsta. And then I turned around and my friend was like, yo, this is Gangsta Gangsta. And we were like all bumping in our seats. It was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know that was actually a song. I was like, oh, something that they made and just never released.
No, it was I think it was the third track on the original album.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
See, I'm telling the truth here, people. I'm not trying to be anything here. This is just my opinion. I just don't listen to it at all. Maybe I should. I don't know if I have the time.
I mean, it's definitely worth a listen, but you have to take it from the perspective that this was recorded in a time where Compton was in a lot of civil unrest because the cops were treating everybody like dog shit. So like, you have to listen to it from that perspective, not from like a 2015 white suburban neighborhoods perspective.
One of the things that really caught me by surprise was that it was more white cops against black people in the movie, but like when that scene where like it was the black cop against the black, that caught me off guard.
That was a very well done scene.
I'm like, okay, so this is like a whole like what cops are bad because they're all white and they all hate blacks.
Yeah.
And like, no, then there's a black cop and he's doing the same shit. And
exactly. That was what really caught me off guard. I was like, wow, that's pretty.
Whoa, curveball over here.
Really.
Also, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that guy was an ass. I really did. What I really liked about it was that it was like the scenes between NWA and the cops were very tastefully done. They didn't throw too many N-words out there. It was well written, the encounters between the cops and NWA.
Mm-hmm.
I tried
to keep a count of how many times they said the N-word. I stopped at 24, and that was before the hour mark.
I mean, it wasn't Django Unchained like.
I think it had more than Django.
It did not have more than Django. Are you kidding me? Django Unchained was like renowned, or not like renowned, but like publicized because it said the N-word so many times. What do you mean? Hey, that movie had like over 150 of it.
Oh, I don't think, not even close.
Django Unchained?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look it up. I dare you.
All right. Dare me. We're sitting right on the computer. Might as well.
I know, but like, I would think that like,
N-word count. There you go.
I would think that I heard it.
Oh my God! Somebody just put it right in the title. This is like no big deal. Part 2 on the N-word. This is just an interview. But anyway.
It's 113.
113. Well,
Now, how many
whatever.
times? How many times is?
I'm sure they're not gonna have it right now. But
I know, but like, I'm pretty sure if they didn't beat it, it got close to.
fair enough. But
N-word count.
it's just like the scene between them and the cops is very it's not gonna say it.
All right.
Yeah. But anyway, it was
I
very
think it's
tastefully
close.
done.
I think
It was
it's
very,
close.
very tastefully done. But I did really, really enjoy the writing of the movie. The writing was very well done. A lot of street slang was put in there for people who don't really get street slang, I guess. Or like
People who grew up with this music probably would enjoy it a lot more and understand it a lot more.
yeah.
That's another thing too. When it comes to that.
God, I sound so white whenever I try to describe something
Yeah.
from like Compton, but whatever.
Yeah, those people sure know
How to bump in their whips.
how to raise the roof.
Am I right, guys?
How to raise the roof.
So that's pretty much
how to jack my jimmies.
how to jack my jimmies. Jesus.
Is that what they say?
God.
Is that what they say?
No, that's not what they say.
I don't
at
know.
all.
I don't think anyone ever said that.
I mean,
I just
to be
kind of made
quite
that
honest,
up.
like I'm pretty sure like when we're gonna see each other, you're just gonna start saying that right now.
Yeah, jack my jimmies.
Jack your jimmies. But anyway,
This don't really jack my jimmies, man. I'm really digging it. Just like that.
well, everybody, this is the point at which the podcast officially goes down the drain. So yeah,
We're just change the name to Jack My Jimmy.
Jack my jimmies, the cast.
Yeah.
Alright.
No, not the movie, the podcast. We're gonna change it.
Cast podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna change that to.
No,
Jack
that's
My
why I said the cast. But anyway, that pretty much summarizes what we liked about the movie. I really liked the direction, the writing, the acting, cinematography was pretty solid. What did you say you liked?
Acting mainly. I would say majority of the movie, like story and everything. Shots were very well done during the concert scenes, especially, and at the end. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, the concert scenes were definitely definitely some of the stronger points in the movie, especially when they played at the Detroit Stadium when the riot happened.
Yeah.
That was an insane scene, which was very, very well done. So let's move on to what we didn't like about the movie.
I mean, I basically just said like a large majority of the middle just kind of seemed to drag on.
Yeah, like the thing about the second half of the movie was this is at the point where
Like,
Dre,
I saw you checking your phone.
yeah, Dre had already left. Not Dre. Ice Cube had already left NWA, and they were making their second album. In this point in the movie, it really started to not decline. Like the quality didn't decline at all. It's just the narrative kind of just definitely drew to a slower pace. A lot more detail was put into it, which I do appreciate, but it just definitely dropped the pace. Not to going to sleep levels, but definitely to a point where it kind of drew me out of the movie. And then it started to pick back up again when No Vaseline was debuted by Ice Cube, and when he was talking to his record producer about his debut album and stuff like that.
His money.
And his money.
That was an intense scene as well.
That was that had me on the edge of my seat.
That picked up that.
That's when it definitely picked up again. But the scenes,
and then just kind of dropped right back too.
But the scenes with Dre at Death Row Records was really like they were definitely necessary because it's a very vital point in in his career and the careers of all the other members of NWA. But I just feel like it could have been a little bit more interesting. It definitely got more interesting when the two cameos start to show up. So that was a very well done and genuinely surprising scene. Scenes, might I add.
I'm sorry, which one?
Both of the cameos were
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
phenomenal. And I really kind of disliked how MC Ren and DJ Yella were kind of just thrown off to the side. Like this after Ice Cube leaves.
I would think like 5 main characters that you got like revolve a story around. I would think that's like gonna be hard to do.
It's definitely a harder task to do.
Yeah, but could they have done it though? Probably.
I mean, even DJ Yella and MC Ren came out to say like, yeah, don't let the movie fool you about our involvement. Like we had a lot more involvement than the movie portrayed. And I believe it, to be quite honest.
I believe
it was a collective effort by all of them. So
I believe it. There's also like another member that should have been in there, but they just.
And Arabian Prince wasn't even in it at all, which kind of disappointed me. I know Arabian Prince was only in NWA for like a millisecond, but like
still.
It would have been a little bit. It would have been nice to have him have a cameo or like a little role or something like that. It's not really a deal breaker for the movie, but it just would have added, I guess, to the narrative or whatever. But
I was watching Jeremy Jans, and he said that he didn't really know whether it was going to be a movie based on Ice Cube, and then just kind of jumped to Dre, and then jumped to Eazy-E, and then jumped back to Ice Cube, and then to Dre, and then Eazy-E. Not particularly in that order, but the fact that they kind of jumped from the story, just from plot point to plot point with each character. Could have done it a little bit better, I think.
I felt like they all had. I felt like the movie kind of revolved around just all of them. The only scenes in which they individually focused on them was in the very beginning, and then the second half. That core moment in which they were all NWA, it kind of focused on all of them.
Yeah, but
except for when Ice Cube left and Dre left and everybody went their separate ways.
Yeah.
I feel like it did revolve around Dre a little bit more, Dre and Ice Cube a bit more than
I mean, because out of those three,
Eazy-E, Dre, and Ice Cube definitely had the most screen time, obviously.
Yeah, but out of those three, two of them definitely do have more screen time.
And you can tell because Dre and Ice Cube produced it, so and hence they got more screen time.
Yeah,
definitely. Then,
but I don't know if it's really necessarily a spoiler about what happens to one of the three at the end.
Oh, Eazy-E dies?
Yeah,
it's not a spoiler at all. It's that's a fact. That's history.
I'm pretty sure that if Eazy-E were alive, he probably would produce. He would have also produced it, and he probably would have got as much screen time.
I definitely don't think he would have appreciated his role in it. To be quite honest with you.
But the point is, he was supposed to be
he was a dick.
Yeah, he was.
He was a dick in real life too.
Yeah.
So I feel like Eazy wouldn't have appreciated his role.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, but if he did produce it, I feel like they would have cut back a little bit, because some of the stuff he says in the movie.
Yeah, we would have gotten a lot different movie if each member were present in producing it.
Yeah.
It had their own say in the film.
Yeah.
But this final product, I think, is good.
I definitely think that the final product came out better than expected. But I agree with you that I think it would have been a pretty different movie if Eazy-E was still alive today and produced it. Even if DJ Yella and MC Ren did produce it, I feel like it would have been a little bit of a different movie. But you could definitely tell that since Dre and Ice Cube produced it, it was a very centric on them, definitely.
Yeah.
Because then again, they did go on to be the two most popular members of that group. Because Dre became,
no doubt,
Dre became one of the biggest producers ever, to be quite honest with you. And Ice Cube became a massive rapper, actor, screenwriter.
And they had an homage to all that at the end, in the credits.
Yeah, which was an awesome touch too. Yeah. Which is another thing I really like too. They had a little screen, slideshow.
Never showed Are We There Yet or Are We Done Yet?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Ice Cube would like to forget about that. To be quite honest.
No, those are fantastic movies. I saw it with my family in the theater.
I guess we're foreshadowing Are We Done Yet and Are We There Yet for our next reviews.
Obviously, I would love to. No, those are terrible. Those are absolutely awful. Just looking back on it, how can someone sell out like that?
Just right? Just garbage.
You know what movie wasn't garbage? That was pretty good.
Oh, Straight Outta Compton was not garbage. You know what movie wasn't garbage? Friday.
Damn! Is that the movie they said?
Yeah, dude, Chris Tucker and Ice Cube. That's Ice Cube wrote that movie, which is what I loved. Ice Cube at one point was writing on his computer, and then his wife's just like, "Yo, how cute." She's like, "Honey, how's Friday coming along?" And oh my god, it was fantastic.
Oh, I didn't even pick that up till now.
That was amazing.
I'm like, oh, Friday.
That was awesome.
So an album.
Also, the Bye Felicia thing.
Yeah.
When they were in that, that was beautiful. So many that's again why I really like the writing of this movie. They just snuck in so many subtle, Ice Cube references in there. It was just great. That's what another thing I really liked about the writing. But anyway, I think that was really my only main gripes with the movie.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you.
Which were, again.
Oh, my gripes were that Arabian. There was just some inaccuracies over who was in it, who wasn't in it. Them leaving really important things out, like Dre abusing women and Arabian Prince. That the second half kind of dragged on a bit.
A large majority of the middle.
Large majority of the middle dragged on. I think that was really it. I mean,
Yeah.
like the acting all around was just really solid. Like I don't really have any complaints about character development or like scene structure. I really don't have any complaints about that. What about you? What were your main gripes again?
Main one is the fact that a large chunk of the middle, like a very large chunk, basically I enjoyed everything from the beginning to when Ice Cube left.
Right.
And after that point, it started like to die down a lot.
Right.
And like there's some like pop-ups back there when like he released the No Vaseline, that one like track from that. And then when like Dre left, that obviously brought that back up, brought interested back up.
Yeah.
And then right to the end where you figured out that they're gonna try to get NWA back together, and then yeah, basically from Ice Cube leaving to when they're trying to get everyone back together, that's a large chunk of not that interesting to me. That wasn't that interesting to me. Yeah, like Inaccuracies too that we were talking about after that. I'm like, that probably would have been a lot more interesting if they added that. Would have been a lot better storytelling. But yeah, besides inaccuracies and a large chunk of the middle just not being interesting, I liked it. I liked the movie.
I did too. What were some cool things that caught your attention in the movie? Like some miscellaneous
Now, I mean,
stuff?
the one thing that obviously you can tell from this review is that I'm picking up on a lot more stuff that they hinted at, like with Friday, that I didn't even realize until you just said that. A lot of the cameos were very, very interesting and very, very cool. That I liked about it.
I agree. Some miscellaneous stuff that I really enjoyed. Definitely the cameos. I really, really liked how they handled like their really, really big concerts, like the one in Detroit. I really did enjoy those. I really liked it showed a couple scenes of Dre producing some of his most famous songs. Like if I was to say them, it would be spoilers, but it definitely when he's producing some of his more famous songs.
Well, like, when they started hinting at like, oh, we're gonna make this song, it's gonna be called this.
Yeah, and Dre starts like messing around with his keyboard, and he finds
you
the
can
right thing.
definitely tell like what song it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And that's what I really, really liked about it. I also really enjoyed how they handled Eazy-E's AIDS diagnosis.
Yes.
That was a very compelling, very emotional scene in the movie. It stuck very much to the times.
One of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, it definitely stuck to the times in which like. Now, some people might view it offensive, but like you have to realize it's the times. Like back in like the 90s, people thought AIDS was genuinely going to wipe out the earth, and that's why his girlfriend was just like, "Oh God." He said a few choice words.
He made like one precise comment about it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, and the doctor's like, well, that's not really necessarily true. Having unprotected sex can lead to it, even if both partners don't really have.
Yeah, and what I also really liked about the scene is it didn't turn it into like an AIDS PSA.
Yeah.
I really like how they just like it was just in and out, and like, yeah, you got AIDS, like, well, obviously not like that, but like, yeah, sir, you have AIDS.
You
like,
have AIDS. Oh, you have
yeah,
AIDS.
exactly. Like, this is like the number from Family Guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it didn't turn it into an AIDS PSA. Like obviously AIDS is a terrible, terrible thing, but it definitely highlighted like the terrible points of AIDS and stuff like that. And I really did like how they handled it. It was tastefully done. While it might offend some people, like it probably will, but you have to take into account that this is early '90s, early to mid '90s, and the AIDS was a genuine fear among a lot of people.
Was it '80s too? I think
80 probably. I mean,
I would say like late '80s.
Late '80s, early. Well, Eazy-E died in '95, so like.
Yeah. I think they started like maybe thinking about forming it in the late '80s and then like actually made it.
Yes. You just have to realize that like. Don't get offended. Like this is the times. This is historically like
it's what happened. What happened. You can't really like.
Now, obviously, like a lot of people are more,
and you can't
open and everything. And
you can't censor the past.
That's the thing. Exactly. That's exactly it.
Just because he made that one comment about AIDS, like that's what they all thought back then. That's what a lot of people thought about AIDS back then. Is that
exactly? Imagine Schindler's List without any of the killings. Like it wouldn't. Yeah. It definitely wouldn't have been an emotionally investing, heartbreaking film. It would have just been about a dude smuggling Jews out of concentration camps. Like it definitely had a lot more narrative depth with all the killings. It's the same in this place. Like if you didn't include all of those choice terms and like genuine fear that Eazy-E and his girlfriend and the doctor had, it
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't. It would have just came off as like, oh well, he's gonna die, I guess. But
If they left it to like you can hear, like you can see them in the room, and the camera's like panning away from the room with the door closed, and you can't really hear anything, but you can just tell that Eazy-E and his wife are
he's
very sad.
flipping out, yeah.
If you could just tell that was the thing, like you wouldn't get the same impact as hearing that he had AIDS and that he's gonna die from it.
Yeah, exactly. I really I enjoyed how Dre and Ice Cube said goodbye to Eazy-E.
Yeah.
I still kind of think it was a little bit of a stupid excuse on Cube's part that he's just like, yeah, I need to hear his voice or else I can't say bye to him. Like, it's one of your closest or like oldest friends. Like, at least go in and say like goodbye to him or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it's whatever. It didn't really detract from the movie at anything. What else?
I would have thought that he would change that. Out of all the inaccuracies in the movie, he would have changed that.
Yeah.
Instead of like just saying I want to hear his voice to say goodbye to him, I would have rather him see him.
Yeah.
Like. Say
And what I did really enjoy about this movie, like as a whole, is that there wasn't any lingering hatred. You could tell, like, even though Dre and Cube produced it, you could tell that they didn't have any lingering like hatred for any of the old members.
Yeah.
It was a very like
they're all on good terms.
It was a very equally spaced out amongst themselves kind of movie. It was a very
three.
what?
It was,
Oh yeah, even like MC Ren and DJ Yella, like you could tell like they all, you could tell like the way Cube and Dre I guess wanted it was like there was no bad blood between them at the end.
Yeah.
You know, so like I really enjoyed that about the movie, and that's pretty much what I thought. That's pretty much straight out of Compton.
Right, so out of 10, what would you give?
Out of 10, definitely I would say 7.5 to an 8. 7.5 to an 8.
I would. I would spit.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I would spit 6 bars out of 10. I would drop 6 mad beats out of 10. I would fuck the police 6 times out of 10. I don't think I said that correctly.
No, you should probably no. Well, I guess we're not uploading this episode now.
I would listen to NWA's albums 6 out of 10 times. Because that's cool.
Doesn't make sense, but all right, fine.
I would have 6 out of 10 ice cubes in my drink.
All right, stop. Just stop now. This is just terrible.
I would go see my doctor 6 out of 10 times. And the doctor's last name would be Dre.
Stop, please.
So
just stop. All right. So now that we got our verdict out of the way, let's go on to trailer talk. New trailer came out today.
We're gonna do. All right.
Yeah. So new trailer came out.
no.
I don't think today or
It came out a couple days ago. Yeah.
Oh no, like a month ago. Never mind.
Yeah, I saw on IMDb probably within the last week.
Okay. And I just saw it for the first time today.
And I just showed you today.
And it's everything I've ever wanted ever in anything.
This is mainly because me and you kind of like introduced me to this kind of music or this kind of like era.
Yeah, I've said it before in our Drive video, but I am a huge 80s guy. I love everything in the 80s.
Yeah. Me and you listened to a lot of music that was inspired.
Yeah,
some
like Kavinsky, Perturbator, Lost Years, Mitch Murder, Starcadian.
I listened to a lot. Yeah, Starcadian. I listened to Perturbator. I listened to a lot of. One that really introduced me to it was Laserhawk.
Laserhawk, definitely Laserhawk. Big one in there.
Yeah.
Makeup Vanity Set. A lot of really unknown artists, but definitely make some great tunes.
A lot of them are on Spotify. You should go check them out.
Yeah, and really, like, I'm really happy nowadays because with like pop culture nowadays, because a lot of stuff is like taking a lot of 80s influence from everything. Like,
because the 80s were fucking rad.
They were, dude. They were.
My favorite movie came from that era.
Back to the Future.
Back to the fucking Future.
All right, so. I really like it because like nowadays from like I guess it started around like 2011 with Drive.
Yeah.
It started like the whole resurgence of like 80s neo-noir
with an 80s
music,
80s inspired soundtrack.
Yeah. Like The Guest, Cold in July, Drive, new movie coming out called Turbo Kid, which looks rad.
Oh yeah.
A lot of really pop culture influence, like even in the mainstream, with Churches, their first album, Bones of What You Believe, very 80s inspired. Robots with Ray Guns, that band you showed me the other day, which I'm really digging. A lot of very big 80s synth pop influenced tunes. So yeah, I'm really psyched that a lot of pop culture is definitely taking after some 80s influences. And Nicholas Winding Refn, my favorite director, is starting all that. His new movie, The Neon City, or not Neon, The Neon City, The Neon Demon, coming out next year, looks very 80s inspired, shot in LA. Really looking forward to that.
After this one, I want to see that.
Really looking forward to that.
After this one, I want to see that.
Oh, there's no trailer for it yet. There's just a couple promo screenshots. But anyway, on to what we're going to be talking about. A new show from Comedy Central coming out, animated, called Moonbeam City.
Which literally is an 80s cartoon.
It's so good.
Rob Lowe, Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, A-list cast too.
Will Forte, Kate Mara. I think Patrick Warburton was in there.
Patrick Warburton's in there too, yeah.
But I mean, like, what isn't he?
What isn't he in, exactly. But pretty much, it's a animation show coming from Comedy Central. And it's, I guess, from what I gather on the trailer, it's about Rob Lowe, who plays like a cop. It's supposed to be like a parody, I guess, of like Miami Vice, Magnum PI, like all the different 80s cop shows.
Yeah.
Hawaii Five-0, stuff like that.
Maybe a little bit of, Danny Glover, Mel Gibson. Fucking
Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon, yes.
There you go.
Sorry.
It's all good. Yeah, some Lethal Weapons definitely in there. I'm really looking forward to it. It's very 80s, like really cheesy, over-the-top action that you would see a lot of in the 80s. Killer soundtrack. Yeah. Killer soundtrack. Seems pretty funny, not gonna lie. I really enjoyed the humor that was in the trailer. Anthony can attest to this. I was watching the trailer with like my jaw dropped. Yep. It was gorgeous. I loved it. So we're definitely gonna be checking that out. Maybe we could do a.
I think this is the first time you ever mentioned a non-movie trailer.
Yeah, it's just like we just got so we just got so interested in it that I feel like we had to talk about it.
Yeah, I showed you right before we did this.
Yeah. So and I needed to talk about it. Like, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It's pretty much everything I've ever wanted in a TV show or movie or anything, really. Yep. It looks like Kung Fury, the TV show, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I would compare it most to Kung Fury, like definitely over the top, but not, without like all the Japanese influence.
Yeah, but not that over the top though.
Yeah, not that over the top.
We didn't.
It's definitely.
We didn't see a dinosaur.
Oh yeah. We didn't see any time traveling too. Yeah. So. Definitely, we're gonna check that out. Maybe you could too. When it comes out.
September 16th.
September 16th, 10:30 p.m. I'm definitely gonna be watching it on Comedy Central. So yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps up the 7th episode of the Cinema Dash.
Number 7.
Yeah.
7 is my favorite number.
Is it really? 36 is mine.
Wow.
Yeah, 36 is my favorite number.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so
when we get to that, you can say.
Yeah, I could just be like. Ah! Or probably at the rate we release episodes, it'll just be like, my favorite number is 36.
Fuck you.
You freeloading prick.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm Deej.
I'm Gabs.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you later.